The Philippines, a vibrant democracy in Southeast Asia, faces a complex web of governance challenges. These challenges impact various aspects of Filipino life, from economic opportunities to basic human rights. Addressing these issues is crucial for the country's progress and its standing in the global community. This essay delves into some of the most pressing concerns: labor rights violations, police corruption, and the fight against corruption. By understanding these challenges and the ongoing efforts to address them, we can better grasp the complexities of Philippine governance. The Philippines has grappled with these issues for decades. Systemic corruption, impunity for human rights abuses, and weak rule of law have hampered development and eroded public trust. The fight for good governance is a continuous process, requiring commitment from both the government and the citizenry. Despite these challenges, there are glimmers of hope. Civil society organizations, journalists, and human rights defenders continue to push for transparency and accountability. International pressure and collaboration with global organizations also play a role in promoting reforms. The path forward requires a multifaceted approach, addressing not only the symptoms, but also the root causes of these systemic issues. Ultimately, the success of Philippine governance hinges on a delicate balance. It requires upholding democratic principles, ensuring accountability, and fostering a culture of transparency and respect for human rights. The journey is ongoing, and the stakes are high for the future of the Philippines and its people. Labor rights violations remain a persistent stain on the Philippines' human rights record. Despite reforms and international scrutiny, trade union leaders and activists continue to face threats, harassment, and even death. The chilling effect of red tagging accusing individuals and groups of communist ties creates a climate of fear and impedes the legitimate work of labor organizations. The ineffectiveness of government initiatives to protect labor rights is a serious concern. A 2024 report funded by the European Union criticized the lack of accountability and the government's tendency to downplay the gravity of the situation. The report highlighted the urgent need for legislative reforms, including the repeal of the anti-terrorism law, which has been used to silence dissent and target activists. The struggle for labor rights in the Philippines is intrinsically linked to broader issues of democracy and human rights. When workers cannot organize and advocate for their rights without fear of reprisal, it undermines the very fabric of a free and just society. The international community, particularly organizations like the International Labor Organization, has a crucial role to play in supporting Filipino workers and holding the government accountable for its commitments to uphold labor standards. Strengthening judicial mechanisms to ensure accountability for crimes against labor leaders is paramount. The culture of impunity surrounding these attacks must end. By prioritizing the safety and rights of its workers, the Philippines can create a more just and equitable society, fostering a climate where labor rights are respected and protected. Police reform remains a top priority in the Philippines. The legacy of the drug war continues to cast a long shadow, marked by widespread extrajudicial killings, allegations of corruption, and a lack of accountability. The arrest of former President Rodrigo Duterte on an international criminal court warrant in March 2025 signaled a potential turning point in the pursuit of justice for the victims and their families. Congressional hearings into the drug war revealed harrowing testimonies of police abuses and implicated high-ranking officials. These revelations underscored the deeply entrenched culture of impunity within the police force. Organizations like Human Rights Watch have called for a complete overhaul of the police system, including rescinding problematic police circulars, empowering internal investigations, and cooperating fully with the ICC investigation. While the challenges are immense, there are some positive developments. The Marcos administration has taken some tentative steps towards police reform, including reviewing existing policies and engaging in dialogues with human rights groups. However, concrete actions and a genuine commitment to accountability are crucial to rebuilding public trust in law enforcement. The path to true police reform in the Philippines will be long and arduous. It demands a comprehensive approach that addresses not only the operational aspects of policing, but also the underlying culture of impunity and corruption. International pressure and collaboration with organizations like the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime can provide valuable support in this endeavor. Combating corruption is an ongoing battle in the Philippines. The country has made some progress in recent years, particularly in areas like public procurement and anti-money laundering. The Philippines' participation in the UN Convention Against Corruption review process demonstrated its commitment to international standards. However, challenges remain in areas like beneficial ownership transparency, whistleblower protection, and addressing cyber-enabled fraud. The UNODC has played a crucial role in supporting anti-corruption initiatives in the Philippines. The organization provides technical assistance, capacity-building programs, and promotes regional cooperation to combat transnational crime. The Philippines' commitment to implementing the recommendations from the UNCAC review will be key to achieving tangible results. International pressure and collaboration with global partners can be instrumental in strengthening anti-corruption efforts. The Philippines can leverage its relationships with other countries and organizations to share best practices, access expertise, and bolster its capacity to investigate and prosecute corruption cases. Ultimately, the fight against corruption requires a whole-of-society approach. The government, civil society, the private sector, and citizens all have a role to play in fostering a culture of integrity and accountability. By strengthening institutions, promoting transparency, and empowering citizens to demand good governance, the Philippines can navigate the labyrinth of corruption and build a more just and equitable society.